Huh. What? 6 subscribers. 100 views? 7 likes? 1 video? A few days? What? No way. Holy crap. Even comments. Wow. Wow. Hey everybody, I just wanted to say thanks. Wow. I've never seen this much growth in all the years I've been doing this, and I think that's really cool. I mean, it might not seem like a lot because you got all these big guys getting all these big numbers all the time, but for a little guy like me, these numbers appeared in like 2 days. That's awesome. So I just wanted to thank you guys so much for the support. I had a lot of my friends just really come out and just, let me know how they thought the preview video was really epic. And I got a bunch of new people. They just came out of nowhere and they're just like, they liked it. I'm like, that's great. So to celebrate, I just wanted to really quickly show my current method of how I make my videos, which includes all the other animations you've seen. So the preview, my announcement of the preview, and my channel expectation video. I'm actually planning on getting better software for making these kind of things, but for now, I'm going to show you my secret. Okay, so first things first, for you to know, the preview video is 406 frames long. It took me 3 days to make. In regards to the actual, the animation of Torn Earth, that took me 3 days, 1 scene each day. And then also adding in me talking on the end day. And that's just the video. That does not include the actual animations, which I had to make separately and then put the background behind, which then meant I had to do it all over again. And then also had to time other things, such as when you saw the alpha's leg come into frame with the soldier. So that's like another 128 frames just for their animations alone, not including having to remake scenes. The soldier scene with him pulling his weapon out, I had to redo that about 12 times because the leg wasn't coming in correctly. And that was fun, redoing that so many times. So you might be asking why I had to redo that. Well, the thing is, I don't technically animate. Like, everything you're seeing isn't in any software. I'm not using a program or anything like that. You see, my big secret is that my quote software is just Google Drawings and Windows Movie Maker from 2 decades ago. Alright, let me explain what I do. I go to a website, okay? In this case, for pixel art, I draw the pixel art. I draw a bunch of pixel art. There's all kinds of pixel art I have you never see for characters. It's modular stuff. I put the character together. I take all of this pixel art, I shove it all together to create the character. And then of doing that, I slap it onto a Google drawing where I put that. Then after that, for animating, I take the drawing and I put it somewhere else so I have a copy of them still. And then I have to spend the next grueling hour or hours or days taking the character and moving them bit by bit to do what I want them to do. Let me show you a really quick example of what that looks like. Alright, let's get started here. We got our character in the frame. We're gonna we want to make his arms
wave. Okay, so we'll start with the first slide here. And, yeah. Okay, she's coming out pretty well so far. Okay, just put his arms up like that, and then we'll have him come down. Yeah, so we want them to, you know, have motion happening like that. Of course, we want them to stay on his body, so we're just like do that. And then we'll end with a, you know, have it go down a little less faster. Yeah.
So yeah, basically that, like, all day long. And with my recent introductions of actual backgrounds, it's made it way more like intense. So you see, when I have something like the announcement and just me talking and my channel expectation, there's no moving background. The background doesn't change. I'm behind a white, you know, just frame or something. This time, which it was a really big leap for me. This time I've had these backgrounds. You see the soldier, he has his own background, and then when you see the alpha and it's moving up his legs, you got that moving background behind him, which was so much fun to put together. I actually even used a foreground. When you see the guy in the bush, Elliot, when he gets out, the one part of the bush is foreground. So that was fun to learn. And so I had to put it all together to give you this presentation. In which that case, what I do is I have the background and I take all these photos of all the animated parts of the characters and I just stick them in, and then I do the whole thing all over again, where I gotta mentally keep track of every single keyframe to make sure everything matches up so that you have the animation. Not to mention that when I get to the animating part, then I have to put them all in, and then I have to put their speeds in, by which I have to make sure everything looks fantastic there, which can be crazy sometimes. When you see the alpha's leg coming in, I did what I was trying to figure out how to make that run smoothly, and I actually did the opposite of what I was supposed to do. We laid out super fast. All right, soldier in the beginning, his frames are at 0.2 speed. When he goes to switch his weapon, it goes down to 0.1 to give you the speedy, oh, you know, I'm grabbing my knife and gun. The alpha's leg was moving at, let's call arrows, because I just hit the arrow on my keyboard. It was moving at 1 arrow a frame. What I should have done to keep it so it was still moving smoothly and doesn't like speed up, which I was still okay with. It makes it like, you know, oh wow, you're getting a weapon, let me approach faster. What I should have done was that for every second frame, it would move again. But instead what I did was I multiplied it so that it moved faster. But I've learned now, so I know what to do next time. So putting that all together was really fun and a new challenge, and I'm really glad how I handled it. You know, it came out really well. I've tried to do stuff like this in the past, and it was just a crash and burn. For any of you that follow me on my social media, check me out on Instagram. I got a Twitter, etc. You may know of a project that I've been trying to get out called Twinkle. I've had it on the back burner a little bit with the summer, but I had the character, I got the characters, and a couple of the scenes already made. It's just the problem with I totally stopped dead when I was making the scenes because I realized the sheer amount of frames I needed for them was really overwhelming. And that was just when I was learning or figuring out. Thank goodness I figured it out there and then. Otherwise, I would have been doing every single character and frame all on the same screen, and that would have been so overwhelming. But I figured out that I would need to do each moving part by itself separately, so that you'd have a moving thing and I could, remember where everything is, worry about one thing and, then put it all together. Like if you got a guy on a motorcycle, you gotta have the motorcycle moving and the wheels moving. And let's say he's got like a jacket flapping in the wind, you gotta have that. Not to mention the trees in the background or whatever, moving too. Originally, before Twinkle, I would have done that all on one screen, and a nightmare. So, with that said, I am hoping to advance further from this. I'm so excited for when I make this into like a story animation thing, because these characters, they've come a really long way, and it's a great story in my opinion. So when that ever happens, I really hope whoever of you are still here or whoever comes, that you enjoy it, because I read over it recently a little bit, couple parts, and it's great. And I really love writing stories. So thank you so much for the constant support. Every like, every comment keeps me going. Just knowing that you guys actually like what I'm doing, and it's not just some bot or something just raking those views up, or some random dude that just saw like 10 seconds of the video or something. So just thank you guys again. It's really great. And they're playing.